Up north of the wall, staying now with the Wednesday Times, and J.K. Rowling rapidly becoming the de facto moral compass of the nation.
Interesting. This story talks about her speaking of the story of the rapist who avoided jail. It's amazing that they lead with her name so much, because the story itself is so important that the fact that you've got a celebrity person condemning it, everyone should condemn it. The story is you've got this young man who was found guilty of rape who avoided jail because of his age at the time.
And rape of a young girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the policy is that if you're under 25, that when sentencing, you should consider not jail, because there's a chance that younger people could be rehabilitated more. But come on, this is guilty of rape. Read the room. You're sending out a message to everyone else in the country. So it makes no sense. When you read the full article, it says that you should be considering these in case-by-case cases. And that's where these things go wrong, that you get this rule that they think they have to apply in general. There is nothing stopping the judge to say, oh, you're going to jail for this.
Yeah,
so
and I think this kind of rule is probably there for, I would guess, reckless driving that's led to an accident or something, and you go, well, it's not going to make him any better, but sending him to jail. But this is completely inappropriate.
Yeah, no, and it seems, in Scotland at the same time, somebody is sent to prison for 14 months for racist graffiti. Yeah. So it shows that there's a two-tier justice system, ideologically driven, where, spray painting imagery on a wall is seen as worse than raping a child, which is absolute madness. Yeah. And it's another example of the SNP failing Scotland. So they've brought through this focus on rehabilitation, which sounds all nice and woke and cuddly, until you realise you're talking about criminals here, Like, some criminals deserve to go to jail.
And I do think we've seen some examples. We've covered a lot of these stories where the College of Policing has issued guidelines that young, fairly sort of green police officers have perhaps misinterpreted a bit too enthusiastically or whatever, and it's understandable that police in those situations get confused. I cannot find any explanation or exculpation for Thomas Ross, KC, who has spent 20 years working in the High Court. This is not the chap. I've got it wrong, got the name wrong. Anyway, the judge in this case, whose name is currently escaped, the Judge Lord Lake, I mean, you're a judge. You don't get to that job without having to make some calls about what the legislation intends and make some sort of decisions about precedent.
And the judge actually says out loud in words, this is about your age. If you were older, you would be going to jail. Yeah. So clearly guesses that half of the story and just fails to apply it in this case.
Very, very strange. Well, hopefully J.K. Rowling's name and celebrity status will tilt the scales on that one.